Oh, aren't you adorable?
Why Dragon Ball Z? Couldn't you be like previously on the Vampire Diaries?
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
I don't like Dragon Ball.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Alright. Welcome back to part 4 of our 6-part vlog where we traveled Greece. We are going to be in Santorini exploring Oia in this one. Just like all of our other vlogs, we're going to give you price ranges. We're going to give you the timeline so you can know what's a realistic amount of stuff that I can fit into these days. We'll also give some ratings based on the taste, the drinks, the vibe. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are working towards 1,000 subscribers. Hit the like if you get like 3 minutes into the video and you're still watching. I think that deserves a like, and it'll get the video out to more people who might be wondering, should I be taking this trip? Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we left you in Flyaway Restaurant. Now we are starting an early morning drive over to Oia. Why so early? Cruise ships. It's always the cruise ships. In Athens, it was the cruise ships. In Santorini, it's the cruise ships.
We wanted to try to go into town and take some pictures before the cruisers and the rest of the vacationers overran the village. Oia is probably one of the sites you're most familiar with when you think of Greece. It's a very iconic blue and white buildings, that sort of thing.
Probably if you're scrolling Instagram and everybody's got their iconic Greece photo, it's probably in Santorini. Has stunning architecture, stunning views. It's just really hard not to like the beauty of this place. Very quickly, as we got there, when we started walking back, we noticed crowds showing up. I do want to point this out for someone who's looking for those unique experiences, like off the trail. While we were there later in the day, it definitely seemed very geared up towards let's sell to the tourists. And if you make money from tourism, that's what you got to do, right? At the end of the day. But I wanted to point that out if you're the type of person who wants to go somewhere and have like a totally unique experience that other people might not have. Oia might not be the place for you to go, but it's still beautiful, still fun. We ran back to the hotel to have breakfast. 1, because they ordered a bunch of ingredients to make me food. And 2, it was free. So we just had a quick minute, ate breakfast there, then hopped over to Amoudi Bay. I originally wrote down in this script, Ashley, talk about lunch. But I realized I have a clip of her talking about lunch, so we're gonna pass it over to Past Ashley.
Thanks, Past Ashley. Hello, can you hear me? We are eating lunch at Amoudi Fish Tavern in Amoudi Bay. We're literally like just down the hillside from Oia. I've always dreamed of coming to explore here and very excited to eat right by the water. And we just made a reservation earlier today, so I think it's pretty good that we managed to get just 1 row back from the water. Obviously, if you have really specific preferences, the farther in advance you make your reservations, the more likely it is you will get what you want. We each decided to get a few appetizers and small plates so that we can try a few different dishes here, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's really good.
It was good. We'll rate it 3.5 on the food, 3.5 on the drinks, and because of the time of day and some of the chaos, we're giving it a 4 on the vibe. If we were able to get a reservation on the water or maybe went to a different time of day, it might be a little bit less chaotic, but you're gonna get what you pay for, and you're paying for the views here. Our total cost was this much. We're definitely glad that we went. Probably won't eat there again, but you should try it out. There's this sketchy 10-minute walk too that you can do afterwards. We recommend only doing it when the waters are not rough, because at the end you're probably going to want to get in. We did see people in, there were people doing like cliff diving, but it's sketchy. After we got a couple of clips of them doing the cliff diving, we hiked the stairs to Oia. This is a hike. It's definitely a haul.
Yeah, and I work out a lot, and it was even a lot for me. It was hot. There was like animal droppings everywhere. Yeah.
Reason.
Gail had an asthma attack. It's not for the faint of heart. In hindsight, we would have called a shuttle to come pick us back up, which was how we got down there in the first place.
But after the hike, we rewarded ourselves with some gelato, and it was so good.
Yeah, that was really good.
We spent $15 with tip. If you get there at a good time, you'd be able to get one of these tables that has a good view, but worth it. even if you don't get a good table. And then after that, we walked around, got some gifts for friends and family. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of gearing towards selling to the tourists. So if you didn't get what you wanted in Athens, there are probably some good things that you can pick up for people for gifts or souvenirs for yourself here. And a lot of the stuff that you get, people are probably going to recognize pretty quickly that it's from Santorini. So like I said, we just grabbed some stuff for our friends and then we headed back to have dinner. This is another really nice touch that the hotel staff did that made me really happy. They printed out another version of the menu and they marked off a bunch of things or like wrote in what I could do as substitutions so that I could have dinner without going, is there dairy in this? I'm allergic to wheat. Is there wheat in this? Any gluten? So it made me really happy that they did that. And it was like a really nice touch. We've been places where I asked about the allergens and they just shrugged and I'm like, no, I have a very bad dairy allergy. There's no shrugging here. This is not. There was only one other table in this restaurant. Like we keep saying, you have a lot of this place to yourself. And so it felt like we were alone. We got all the attention, and for our ratings, we're going to give this place a 3.5 on the food. We'll give it a 4 on the drinks. And then in general, we would give it a 4 out of 5, but we're going to have to knock it down to a 3 out of 5. It was extremely windy, and so you just heard this because the glass windows move and they can close, and so the wind was just like flapping in through that and on the roof and just making a ton of noise. And while they don't control the wind, someone controlled the architecture, and so there was a decision that was made to make that place like that. Maybe order room service if that noise is going to completely destroy dinner for you. All in all, it was a great day. There isn't much I would change about it. Maybe the hike up Oia, not having to smell donkey poo, but it's part of the experience. Okay, I said that we have a special surprise at the end of this video. The start of this day is that special surprise. This breakfast was so cool. We ordered this breakfast when we got back to the hotel the night prior, and it's kind of like a weird flex, but it's a really cool experience. It will add $50 to your hotel bill, but if you're trying to decide between this and maybe getting another couple rounds of drinks somewhere, I would 100% say do this floating breakfast instead. Again, they still had the ingredients to make breakfast, and so they were able to make it still special for me as well.
It's not necessarily practical to eat off of a floating basket in a hot tub, so you'll probably end up doing what we did and take the dishes out of the floating basket and set them on the edge of the hot tub or something.
Regardless, still a cool concept.
And it's already time to head to the next part of our Greek adventure. Next up, Milos.
We hope this video helps you decide whether or not a trip to Santorini is right for you. If you missed part 1, it's in the description down below. This is how much we spent on our last 2 days. Remember, our hotel was discounted because we used points. Chase, we're waiting on you. Would we go back?
Yes, but I would go to other Greek islands first. I'm really glad we went to Santorini since it was our first trip to the Greek islands. It's just so iconic, and going all the way there and not seeing that famous view kind of feels like going to New York City and not seeing the Statue of Liberty. So I'm really glad we went for our first trip, but we definitely want to go back to Greece, and I think there's other islands we'll hit up first before we return to Santorini.
Now make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have even cooler stuff. I know I keep saying that every single video. We have cooler stuff though. Milos is about to be fire. We can't wait to share it with you. Have a fantastic day. And remember, we take the trip.
So you can decide whether or not you want to.
That's twice. She got it right twice in a row.
I'm a professional. Where's my play button?
All right, bye.
Bye.